I'm getting better at my countdowns. So, hello, everybody. We are live. It's Friday. Hope everybody had a great week. Mine was very busy. And tonight, Caleigh, whom we all know and love in chat as FogoPogo, and now her new channel, Woo Woo Wonderment, that she's working on, is my guest tonight. Allison is taking off Friday tonight because she's hanging out with family and friends and having a good old time. So Caleigh is going to be my cohort tonight, my co-host. And it's also a very busy Friday night, lots of shows going on. So we appreciate everybody when you pop in, say hi before you go. Make sure to click the like button. Caleigh doesn't have any content up yet on her new channel, but she's working on it. And so she's got her decks with her. And so we're going to be chatting for a little bit, getting to know Caleigh and what she has planned for her channel. And then we'll have time for a few questions. We know this is going to be her first time doing readings live too. She's been a guest. Well, you've actually done some readings with Jeff and I when you were a guest on our evening of poetry, where we are pulling one card and then talking a little bit about the card and then writing the poem. So you're almost a pro. You've got at least one, you've got almost one down. And I keep telling Caleigh, like everybody else, we all had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I've been in her shoes. There's still times when I get the crickets. And how long have I been doing my cards? I'm like, oh my God, where's my book? So I told her, sometimes you got to grab a book. Sometimes you got to grab notes. It's all a process of learning. So really quick, before I give it all over to Caleigh, let's say hi to a few people. Fatima is here. Hello, my dear. Thank you for being here. Her lovely sister, Odelia. And Moira. Hello, Moira. Earl, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And also the link to Caleigh's channel, new channel, is in the description. So we can start getting some subscriptions, get her built up, and she'll be pumping out that new content soon. Just like we did for Cleo this year. She had like over 100 subscribers or something. She still didn't have content, but people were still subscribing because they knew that she was going to start, putting videos out. And that's what she did. And now she's doing really well. So we just got to kind of dip our toes in there and get wet. And the new channel is
Woo Woo Wonderment.
And the link is in the description. Yeah. If I have any mods here that would be willing to put that into the chat, that would be great. Hello, Isadora. It's been a little bit. How are you, my dear? It's good to see you. And Harley is here. Hello, Harley. I sometimes still want to call you Sonia. So yeah, we got lots of shows tonight. It's a very popular Friday night. So we will be doing a few readings at one point. And when we do, we're just going to ask that you stay in chat for the readings. I know a lot of people like to jump back and forth, and that's understandable when you got so many great shows on, but it really helps us connect with your energy, when you're here, and it's respectful too for the readers as well. Doing better. I'm assuming maybe you weren't feeling too good, but it's good to see you. You don't have to share, but it's good to see you in chat. So, did I miss anything? No, I did not. So let's give it over to Caleigh.
Do you have any specific questions? But I guess I can just kind of go with it for now.
Just go for it.
Or if anybody in the chat has specific questions you want to know about me, I'm more than happy to answer. But my new channel, so I decided to set up a new channel separate from my more personal, I'll call my personal account, just so that I can keep my old stuff separate from new stuff. Right now I think my plan with the channel is one to do lives. So like with Heather here, doing the poetry nights when I'm able to. My plan I think down the road will be to maybe do weekly readings for people like I do for myself. But it's going to be I think for me, it's going to be finding the time between, a full-time job and everything, trying to find that time to do that kind of stuff. Especially where I've had no experience doing any videos or anything like that before. But yeah, I'm excited to try it out and see where it goes.
And right here, Harley just said, was just thinking of you and Jeff and Caleigh from when the video poem that a friend just put up a video and poem that you all may like. Well, just write, actually in the comments after, Harley, if you want to go ahead, and type in the name of the channel and the poem, be happy to check that out.
I definitely check it out.
Hello,
Moira,
Nancy. Good to see you. Yep.
Moira, I think, had a question about the name.
Everybody wants the name. It's a very unique name.
Yes. So there is actually a story behind it. So I'm gonna try and do the Coles Notes version of it, but
just think that.
So the Fogo part is kind of the key part of it. The Pogo part just rhymes with it, and also up here in Canada, out in BC, there's actually some monster similar to Loch Ness that's called FogoPogo. So I think I kind of used that too as a little bit of an inspiration.
Yeah.
But the Fogo part of it actually. So I went to university in Guelph, Ontario, at the University of Guelph, which is across the street from the Ontario Veterinary College. So I initially went to university to be a vet. That didn't end up happening, as life happens. But when I was there, I would volunteer for what they called Full Watch. So for basically half the year, so basically running from about November into May, you could volunteer to basically look after any premature foals that came into the veterinary college. So they would have to be cared for 24/7 around the clock. So you took 4-hour shifts. And you would, milk the mare and feed it to the baby if they couldn't nurse properly. So you'd tube feed them, or you'd give them milk supplements if the mother wasn't producing milk. So you do that around the clock. So Fogo, the foals that year, the theme for naming them was islands. So some years it was candy, some years it was like gods and goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
So that year it was islands. And so there's an island called Fogo Island off the coast of Newfoundland. And so this particular foal I spent a lot of time with, came in very, very sick. And so I tended to do the overnight shifts. So I do from 10 at night to 6 in the morning over Saturday to Sunday. And it would just be me and like the vet tech that was on call that night. And so you got to spend a lot of one-on-one time. So once it was healthy enough to go, was able to walk, we'd go out, in the different breezeways and like we'd be kind of playing tag with each other. And like we really formed this connection.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of stuck with me. And so yeah, it's that's where the Fogo comes from. And then the Pogo kind of just rhymes, or you can think about it as
and she's a poet.
Yeah, me and my rhyming.
And Harley said Caleigh is a wonderful poet, can do it on the spot. Now that's talent.
I get it from my mother, I think.
Now your
Same
family,
with my intuition.
You said your family has like artistic or musical abilities, you said, right?
My mother is artistic like I am.
Okay.
Like she does a lot of crafting, she does knitting like I do, she does sewing. Less so of like a painter and stuff than I am, or drawing. But yeah, no, she has written poetry all of her life, so I think inherited it kind of from her a bit. Mm-hmm. And the intuition part of it as well, of course.
Yes, I love everything is intuitive because that's what we are. We're creative. We use our intuition. We're taught in the beginning, that not to tap into it. That's like a no, or that's something that can't be trusted, and that's just a natural part of who we are. And Harley says, FogoPogo would be a great title for a children's story or fiction.
There you go. I have written a couple children's books. So.
Oh, so you have. Okay. Are they published? I can't remember if you said they were published.
Self-published, I guess technically,
that's still published. If you can go somewhere and buy them, that's being published. So
yeah, so I wrote them and then I illustrated them as well.
There you go. Now, when you create your channel, will there be a link included in your about section where people can go and purchase those books?
I could try and figure something out, that's for sure. Like, I've only done like 1 or 2 copies kind of thing because most of them have been gifts for people, but I could definitely consider it.
Well, yeah, if you put that out there and maybe put like a sample, some pictures, if anyone's interested, or set that up, they can go create that link, take a look, and I'm sure there would be people in our community that would love to support you on that. Very nice. I mean, Jeff has his that he self-published, so he's a published writer. I need to do that. I have to figure out how to do that on Amazon and whatnot. But I know I have plenty of work.
Like, one of them I wrote for my dad for a Christmas gift. He's retired now, but he was an airline pilot, and so I wrote an entire, basically book-long poem based on pilots. And so he actually ended up giving it to a bunch of his like colleagues and stuff like that who had kids that wanted a copy of the book and stuff. So yeah.
And Harley also said, "Oh wow, self-published is published."
And I won a couple poetry contests through high school that are published as well. So
yeah, that was how I was first published. Yeah. I submitted a couple poems to our senior, book and stuff, and and they were like, "Okay, we'll take this one and that one." And so that was the first time, I was published. So very cool. But I would like to know is, when did you start getting into the metaphysics? I know a lot of people like using the woo-woo, but I don't know. I don't know. I think woo-woo's getting kind of, well, I don't know. I guess it's endearing. I don't know.
Yeah, woo is the fun way of saying it. I like. I can't remember even who originally it was in the chat that I saw it, but I like the whole like woo tube instead of YouTube.
Called woo tube, yeah.
Yeah. I've used that term when talking to friends. It's kind of funny.
So how'd you get into the woo?
Yeah, exactly. The intuitive stuff. So honestly, I've been intuitive all my life and I've known it. I was having like dreams and stuff like that of relatives that had passed at the age of 7. Seeing, relatives that had passed standing beside my bed. I've always been incredibly just sensitive in general. Always been empathic. Stuff I don't have memory of, but I know there's stuff that's happened that caused me kind of to like shut it down, so to speak. So so basically I would say through basically high school all the way through till basically a year ago, I'd kind of been ignoring it. But what made me come back to it is I was having health issues and I had gotten tests done and like biopsies done, and they weren't finding like no cause for like why I was like suffering with the way I was suffering. And so I had thoughts of, okay, well, what is the one area I hadn't explored yet, which was the spiritual kind of side of things. So I had a friend who did Reiki. So she did a session for me, and I felt like instantly like it was a difference. And so she's like, I only have my Reiki too. I feel like you should probably go see somebody who's actually, a Reiki master who has more tools available to them. And that's when I started seeing Tanis. So it'll actually be a year in April that I started working with Tanis. So that's Twila Lifestyle. And so since then, I still have a bit of the issue that I was dealing with, but it's almost like it's maybe 10% of what it used to be. I used to get super sick. And so the only thing that's resolved it is the energy work, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, my cup cleared up some energetic blocks. Might have been something due to past life as well.
Yes.
But if it's working and you're using it, of course, as we like to tell people, when it comes to health, making sure that, any holistic work that you do is also balanced with Western medicine, with your doctor.
Right.
But the both of them together, amazing. And it's becoming more, some areas, doctors are becoming a little more progressive now, where they're open to the idea of Reiki and bringing them
Yes.
into the hospitals and working with naturopaths and things to, help improve. Yeah.
I was just saying hi to Michelle because I saw she popped in.
Michelle,
And
my
what's great with
belle.
Tanis too is she has so many connections. So I actually see Jen for like the mental side of things, and I see Tanis for the energy side of things, and then I have my doctors who I see for the physical side of things. So.
You got a nice little support group there.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's honestly been so great.
And there was a question for you,
Yeah.
Caleigh. Were you able to use your intuitiveness to work with the animals? Do you think that it drew you to originally pursue a career in veterinary arts? Good. I like these nice questions.
Yes, that is a very good question. I think it definitely plays a part. How aware I was of it, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to be a vet since I was 3 years old and could talk. I've always had a really strong connection with horses. Like my university degree, I did 4 years of an equine degree. And so I've always had that connection, especially with horses. But it definitely, I think, helps in the sense of wanting to heal. So I do Reiki now. I'm getting my Reiki levels, as well as I've done Aqualead as well, which is another healing modality. So I think that intuitive healing has always been in there because I've always had this urge to heal, or that want to heal. And so, yeah, I definitely think the intuitiveness to a certain extent definitely influenced that for sure.
Very cool. And yes, Beth Aspasia's Rising has joined us along with, we already said hello, but I want to give her another shout out. Michelle, Astrological Tarot. So anybody who has a wrench and has a channel, please go ahead and put that in the chat. That is perfectly fine. And I know Harley's got a lot of questions for you.
Well, Moira has one there too, but I'll answer them in order.
Right. Okay, now it's Moira. What is your muggle job?
Yeah. I like the term muggle. You can see from my background, I am somewhat obsessed with Harry Potter. You should see my entire room. It's all Harry Potter in here. But my muggle job, so actually, I register cows. So I don't even work with horses. I work with cows. So I basically give them birth certificates is the easiest way to explain what I do. So I register them and then work with like transferring ownerships if they change hands, if they're sold. And it'll be 5 years that I've done that in June. So
very cool. And Karen is here. Hello, Care Bear. And something funny that Caleigh was sharing with me backstage. Can I share it when it comes to the cows?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Caleigh has actually had her hand up inside a cow's butt. And I'm assuming that's for pregnancy, to help with the pregnancy. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
How many of us can say, that we have had I've seen videos on that and I'm like, oh, I'd be afraid I'd do something to hurt the animal,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Caleigh's hand has been where a lot of our hands have never been.
Yeah, it was part of my vet tech schooling, which I did after university. So, like perpetual student here.
She said, okay, I said I'd be quiet, but how did you get into that? The vet tech, I would believe that Karen's asking. And hello, JR, good to see you.
Yes, well, yeah, Dr. Pohl would be a veterinarian, but yeah, the vet tech thing is because the veterinary thing didn't work out. So I'm like, okay, if I can't be a doctor, I may as well be the nurse. And so, yeah.
And that's funny, Beth says, oh, who hasn't? Hand up a cow's butt, So let's see. Oh, hi, Miss Tarot D. She's probably walking and going, hands up a cow's butt. What? Anybody coming in may be like, what did we just walk into? So thank you, everybody.
And that came up because you had Mozzie, and Mozzie was sticking his
butt in the camera. Mozzie was up here earlier. He stuck his butt again into the camera. I said,
and I just said I had more butt than my face, than you know what to do with. So
yeah. So let's see. Been there, done that. Not. Dr. Paul. Hi, Jay. How are you doing, sweetheart? Good to see you. Very important job. I have mad respect for you doing that. Seriously, I would be petrified. Me too. Sometimes things kick in when it's like there's an emergency and you got something's going on and you really need to stay focused. there have been times when I've had to do that, and I don't know how I've done certain things, but when it's like something serious and something needs to get done right away and fast, and you need to stay focused, yeah. Whew.
Yeah, like I still have friends that work in clinic. I don't do clinic work. I tried that for about 8 months, and it was just not the right fit for me. So that's why like the work I do now is desk work. It's, you know, data entry and stuff like that, but I still get to use my skills. I mean, we still deal with genetics. I still have to deal with problem solving, like doing investigating kind of stuff as far as genetics go. And that's the part of my job I actually really like. Is I call it Sherlock Holmesing, but
Wow.
that digging to try and figure out what's actually gone on. You know, did somebody's, you know, bull jump the fence, or, you know, was there something wrong? Did something else happen? Yeah.
Get your bulls, up, you know, roll them in.
Well, and you know,
Control your bulls.
when you do like straws, like artificial insemination, to get off track here, sometimes they'll be in a canister, like, because they freeze them to store them. Well, the person pulls it out and doesn't double check the straw. They could put that into that into the cow, and it's the wrong bull that they wanted to use, which has happened because the person didn't, you know, the person doing that job didn't double check, triple check that they were putting in the right one.
So the advice today, something we all learned:
triple check.
Double check your straws before you insert them into the cow. Make sure you have the right bull on your straw before you insert.
Yeah.
Wow, people are gonna be watching this later going, "What the?"
I thought you were doing tarot readings, not how to breed your cow.
We're just learning about Caleigh, and for people who don't know, Caleigh is FogoPogo. Most of you have seen her on my channel with Jeff Bailey and I doing poetry, and also if you've gone and seen any of Michelle Marie's, she's Astrological Tarot. If you've ever seen her open recently, a fan that was created by somebody especially for her, that would be this young lady right here that created that fan for her. So she's artistic. She loves animals. She's got a beautiful dragon deck that she wants to use tonight. So
hopefully,
well, we will be using. Yeah, it's only at 8:22. And some people are still coming in because there's a lot of shows. We did that tonight. There's like 3 or 4 going on. So we thank everybody for being here. Caleigh is so Caleigh, before we get to questions, where we have this many people, tell us about your channel for the new people coming in. Woo Woo Wonderment.
Yeah, so I created a new channel separate from what I'll call my personal stuff, which I called Woo Woo Wonderment. So the link for it's down below in the description. So it's going to be where I'm going to probably do lives eventually. I'm also considering doing weekly readings. I do weekly readings for myself, so I thought about maybe doing that for the collective. So posting videos there for that. And just anything else I kind of find, you know, interesting, or I like going out for walks in nature, you know, birding and stuff like that too. So that might end up on there. Big thing for me right now is just finding the time.
Similar. She goes out and she takes videos sometimes of herself talking, and she just walks in the woods. You can hear the birds, the animals, and she talks about spiritual stuff too. So that's a beautiful idea. And Moira wants to know, are you going to be unveiling your doggy Lenormand tonight?
I don't have it up here with me right now, but
stay tuned on her channel if you like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I want to do some deck flip throughs.
You'll be able to see that.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing some deck flip throughs. That's for sure. I have one in particular that's lenticular, so the images on the tarot cards move. I really want to do a flip through of that for people because it's a very interesting deck.
All righty. So, Caleigh, you're doing great tonight. See, Jay, I told her she would. Caleigh was very nervous, but I'm like, listen, we've all been there. It's a Friday night. We chill, relax. We talk about the week, stuff that's gone on, anything you want to share. For people wondering where Allison is, I've come in a little bit later. She's visiting with family tonight. I think she's doing a fire or a bonfire, some campfire back. So just kicking back, enjoying, chilling with the family. And she'll be actually with me and Jackie this coming Wednesday for our next investigative tarot. So looking forward to that. Let's see.
I think
Then
Harley
there's
had
any
another
other.
question there.
Did she really? Okay.
Yeah, just asking about
Alrighty.
whether I use intuitiveness to guide my writing. Um, I mean, like the poetry. I mean, on poetry nights, definitely. Because as I say, they just come to me like that, which of course would be intuitiveness.
Yeah, everything we
I
do is
have
intuitive.
I have done a bit of automatic writing, which seems to be the easier way for me to channel. I definitely am a channel. I've had that confirmed. And that's why like most of my issues are in my throat, and I've told it's because of that. And actually, the one
Yep.
that I had 2 days, 3 days in a row where I didn't have any throat issues at all, and that was after I had done mediated channeling. That was the like 3 days immediately following that. So kind of pudding. But I haven't actually just sat down and just like written to write. Again, it's much like the channel. It's going to be finding the time to do it, and I don't necessarily set aside time. I probably should, honestly. But I actually kind of find it funny. I do have a bit of a skill, it seems. So with the automatic writing, I don't know if I have anything handy here right now.
Karen wants to know, what is your process for automatic writing? I'm interested in giving that a go. And I did that in my 20s. And that's how I found out one of my spirit guides, and come to find out almost 30 years later that spirit guide is actually one of my great grandmothers from Ireland.
So for me, I honestly like go kind of into that, into my circle, like my protective circle. I get into that meditative state, and I just kind of sit with pen to paper, and what comes to my mind, like I don't overthink it. What comes to my mind, and a lot of the time, it'll be if it's repeating in my head, I'm like, okay, that's something that they want me to pay attention to, and I'll just start writing, and then after that, it just flows. Sometimes I do it with my eyes open, but I actually a lot of the time will do it with my eyes closed, and I seem to have a skill at being able to write in perfectly straight lines with my eyes closed.
I try that. I can't.
I don't know how I manage
right
it, but yeah, I seem to be able to like write almost perfectly. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have a talent for that. But all I can say is the big thing is don't overthink it. Like I have a very overthinking brain, and so the automatic writing has actually been good for me in the sense that I'm like, okay, I just let it come, like what comes come. And then from there, and you can tell the difference between it's your brain versus them.
My handwriting changes.
The linguistics are different too. Because I don't know if I have that book up here or not. Oh, I might. Do you want to hold on for 2 seconds? I can grab it and give you an example.
All righty. And if anybody would like a reading, Caleigh and I will be on for about another half hour. So we can probably do about 6 or so. So if you want to go ahead.
Or if you want just a general, put me or something. If you want me to just I have oracle cards, so
we just don't do the third party or the political. And if it has to do with health and legal, that's kind of touchy ground too, but we'll look at what we can see. So Moira, anything specific or just in general? I can pull general oracles for generals. So I'll get you up on there. And
I haven't done anything recently, but these ones are from back on January 28th. So these ones I obviously wrote with my eyes open. But let me just see here.
Moira wants to know if you know where your intuition is in your natal chart. I'm not sure
that stuff
I don't do
astrology.
charts, so.
I'm not. Yeah, astrology I'm kind of rough with. I mean, what sun moon ascending is what Taurus, Virgo, Sagittarius, I think is my.
I know basically my 3 signs, and then that's I'm good to go. I know what a new
I would say if Michelle's still here, she might be able to tell you more, but
I know all the planets. Oh, hello. This is somebody new. ABG. Boom. We have a lurker who said hello. Welcome. Can I get a general reading? Thank you. You most certainly can. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And
Moira, I think, wants to, and Harley there. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Yay. Now, Earl, we don't do third parties, which means I don't have the permission to tap into what another person's thinking without their permission. So what Caleigh and I could do is just kind of pull cards on the energy around you in this relationship. but we won't go into Melissa's
Yeah.
because we don't have permission. I know some readers are okay with doing that, and that's fine for them. But for me, and I think I can speak for Caleigh, that
Yep.
we would prefer not to. I'll highlight you, but let me know if that's okay, and I'll go ahead. I love reading. There you go. Thank you, Earl. You're
Perfect. Yep.
awesome.
Can definitely do that.
Alrighty, so go for it. You're going to share us.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between which two of these that I wanted to
And I was wondering who had asked. Oh, Karen. So for me, Karen, while Caleigh's looking, when I do or did my automatic writing, my handwriting changes, and the way things come out like a different person would say. Is that literally like this, like how I would write a sentence or how I would speak? It'll be different ways of words and the way they come out and stuff. So
and that's the big
when
thing.
you're, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this one just because I kind of even when I was writing it, I'm like, whoa, like it was just like I never thought of that. Okay, so this was back in January, but let me see here. Okay, what are we here for but to be of service for those yet to come? Like gardeners, we fertilize, we prepare the soil, we bring light to the darkest recesses of this globe in hopes that when the time is right, our hard labors will be rewarded. See, and I'm getting chills as I'm reading this, so that kind of tells you too. You have hard labor. Sorry, give me a second here. I just lost track of where I was. Okay, so there we go. Hopes that when the time is right, our hard labors will be rewarded. You have done well, good gardeners of the earth plane, of the grass and oak and tree and bush. There are many others working too in the ground, in the sky, all for preparation, all in preparation. The vibration is rising, but that you already know. I tell you nothing new, for you are all aware. Even you who are less attuned, even they are feeling, listening. Hope is a four-letter word humans are familiar with. But did you not know that it has another meaning? More meaning it is an acronym. A compilation of key concepts. The P is for peace, O for opportunity, E for experience, and H, well, H is for you, for humans. So HOPE stands for human opportunity for peaceful experience. For each time there is hope, there is a chance for peace. No, there is peace, even for the briefest of moments. The blink of an eye, the air stills, breath stops, the moment between breath, and there peace is found. Give me a second here.
I know sometimes I have a hard time reading my
even if it is only felt in the heart of the one who holds hope. Shine it like a beacon, young ones. Answers will come. We are all and we are none. Like the wind we blow in, like rain we fall, like fire we burn, and like the earth we rise up and dance at your feet. Go forward and live. Carry that hope within you. Be the beacon, like a million lighthouses on a rugged shoreline. You will welcome them all safely home. Them who are come have come and will return. There has been much waiting, and wait a little longer will make little difference to us, whose time does not exist for. It is why you humans are so impatient. You think you are losing time, running out of it, when in fact it does not exist at all. So there is nothing to lose. Much like we are all and none, so time is all and none, here and not here, there and not there.
Very cool. And that reminds me of when Valerie from Dragonfly Crystals does her channeling, and she writes everything out, and then she goes and she does a video and she reads out loud what her message was. So that might be something, that might be a segment that you would like to have on your show. That's wonderful. And
I see Harley has a question there. It depends. Sometimes I actually feel like my hand will get itchy almost. So it's like, okay, it gets impatient or kind of gets, antsy, and I'm like, okay, I need to write
something.
As far as like once I've started writing, it'll flow, and then it all of a sudden just stops, and that's when I know like the message is done, because like nothing else, my mind will be completely blank, nothing else will be there, nothing else will come.
Very cool. Well, shall we get into our reading?
Sure.
We have 6 starred, and we're going to stay at 6. if anybody should come in, I can add them, but we can't promise that we'll be able to get to everybody. So let me just go ahead and do this and we'll get started. So I'm going to mute myself.
Yep,
And,
same.
And I'm going to actually.
So just I'm assuming Moira just wants a general?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to put you in the big seat. Because my guests go first, unless that makes you uncomfortable being in the big seat. You're okay. She's used to this. She's a pro. She's been with me before.
I was gonna say, if you get all your cards ready before I'm done, then go. But if not, yeah.
So I'll go first. Moira, I pulled animals for you, companionship. So I love this. And it's no surprise that you got this card because you obviously love animals. We've been talking up a storm with Caleigh about her vet tech and her animals. So I got animals. I also have magnetism and attraction. So I'm from what I'm seeing here is that you are the animals are attracted to you. There's a very deep spiritual bond that you have with animals. And I don't know if you're in the process of trying to maybe figure out what animal totems you need to work with at this time, because I am getting also the self reflection card. And this is all about connecting intuitively with ourselves, kind of looking at where our lives are right now. And we're seeing with the animals and the magnetism. I'm not sure if you're trying to draw in an animal totem or a guide. Um, or if you may be aware of what they are, might want to know what specific message. But I'm feeling something maybe with an animal totem that you are very much drawn to. And let me see right here. You said you have a connection with birds, so I don't know if maybe you need to make me connect more again because I'm getting the self reflection. Let me pull another card and see what the self reflection is.
Heather, if she has a connection with birds, can I run downstairs real quick and grab another deck that I don't have with me?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
She does like what I do. I get people in the chat, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I got a deck for and I have to get up and go." So that is fine. So releasing. Okay, so Moira, are you maybe okay? I mean, this is what we all do. We kind of hesitate. We connect. We meditate. We get into our mind state where we feel like we're reaching out to our animals. We feel like we get messages, even with regular spirit guides, whether they're human, animal, elemental, whatever they are. They may be in our family, our spirit family. And sometimes we wonder, is that my imagination? Is that really what the message is? Right now, I'm feeling you have to start releasing that. I got the card for release, and that's releasing, letting go. These aren't birds, they're butterflies. But for me, I feel like there's something that you have to release, like fear that you're not getting the messages, or you're uncertain, you're doubting yourself, or questioning yourself what messages you are getting. As long as they are loving and positive messages, even if it might be like a tough love, just know that you can trust. Release whatever that fear is that you might have. And when you kind of release that fear and start, connecting with your intuition, you start to open up more and you start to expand, and that energy becomes easier for you to tap into and for them to come to you. So I'm going to end it right there, and I'm going to give it over to Caleigh, and I'll take a look to see what you put into the chat. All righty. You are up, Miss Caleigh.
All righty. All right, so I'm gonna do the cards I pulled first, and then I'll show you what I pulled from the other deck and what deck I was. So the two decks that I used for the main reading, so I'm using this one tonight. And then the other one, which is my favorite deck, is this one here. So the two cards I got from the first deck is, it says heal yourself to heal the world. And then the second card is when it feels right, do it. So I thought that connected very much with what you were saying, Heather. Because the second cards I got from the crystal deck is Moldvite, which is so the word that it says is star child, and then amethyst is humility.
Beautiful.
So where you were saying like connection with an animal guide, I think too. I don't know if Moira has explored, whether there's a possibility of her being a star seed or connection to past lives on other planets, but that might be something to explore. But where you saying like there's that self-reflection piece, I definitely felt that too, with the like when it feels right, just do it, stop doubting yourself. And I think that's kind of where the humility comes in, that you just need to kind of trust that. Trust yourself, trust that inner you. But through that animal totem, through maybe that star seed side of things, you're going to be able to heal yourself and then in turn heal the world.
I just had an interesting thought when you're talking about the birds. Isn't there a type of bird star seed? They're called avians or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the name, but yeah, I believe there is.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you mentioned birds, it was my first ever deck that I bought for myself. But it's this one here. It's actually made in Canada.
Bird vibes. Cool.
So I actually pulled a bird. So the bird I got is the house finch.
You broke
and it
up.
says
Could you
connect
repeat the
with
name?
nature. Yeah, the house finch.
House finch. Okay, because you had broken up, so now we know. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. Says the warble of the friendly house finch is heard in cities, towns, and agricultural areas. Stop and listen to the voices of birds. Tune into the soothing energy of nature. So again, it's that kind of self-reflection, listening to that inner voice, I think, is kind of what it's saying too. Maybe go for a walk and find that peace.
All righty. Wonderful reading.
Yay!
Nice. And
Moira, you were my first.
And tomorrow is Fatima's birthday, so let's read for the birthday girl. Sometimes I go out of order. Sometimes we get new people or special requests come in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read for Fatima. Happy birthday,
Fatima, do you want me to use my dragon deck?
Ooh. Fatima, there's a Mother Mary in that deck with a dragon. Yeah. She is so
I was going to say, I won't do it if she's not comfortable with it, but if she says yes, I'll use the dragon deck.
Yeah, I don't think she minds which deck. She says, sure.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, and Moira, your birthday is Monday? Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday to Peoples. Yes, Blue Avian. Thank you, Rosanna. Those are the kind of like the Avatar people. Someone was saying, I believe. Whoa. Well, that's a lot of cards. Oh. Okay. So she's still pulling cards. So I'm going to go ahead. So Fatima, birthday girl, the first card I got out for you, let me just take this down really quick. I got Encall, and that's when children are born and they still have the placenta wrapped around them. and people feel that that is gives a newborn or an individual a stronger connection to their psychic abilities, very strong psychic abilities. And this is the card I pulled for you. So it's your birthday, and this is what happens when. So this is very interesting. So Fatima, tomorrow is your birthday, and I pull a card that has to do with a spiritual, well, the membrane being wrapped around the child when they are born. So this could be also considering like a rebirth in a way. Um, and I got for you, it says healer, a seer, a priestess, or soul purpose. So you have a very healing, very you have abilities, Fatima. And I think it feels very priestess, like Mother Mary. A lot of people don't realize that um back in the day, you know, because we all know that the Bibles were, you know, the Bible was rewritten by men. And so, but back then, in those times, these women, many of them were part of a priestesshood. They were medicine women. They were women to help in the villages for healing. And it's believed that there was a lineage that Mary belonged to that was a priestess that would do healing and that would do ceremony and acknowledge the divine feminine that was in everybody and taught about love. I mean, her son, you know, look what who she birthed, you know, the one that, you know, who talks about love and self-love and loving others. So what a beautiful card, Fatima. I also got the wellspring. What are you thirsty for? Body care and taking a breath. So for me, it feels like you need to really take care of yourself, your body, health. I know you're going through stresses. So this is a reminder to maybe for your birthday, you know, take a nice bath, pamper yourself, you know, put some rose petals or maybe a little bit of rose oil or something in your water and soak and enjoy your birthday. Just and go somewhere and be with people that nourish you, that make you feel good, and that are wanting you to also explore what are you thirsty for, what is it that you feel like that you want to do in life, like what's a soul purpose. And then the last card I have for you, I think you do know what it is, and I think you're working on it when there's not so much chaos and stuff going around you, but when you focus and you sit in your quiet space, when you do your rosary and you do your prayers. I got the plunge card. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. This is a very yes, yes, yes. So whatever it is that you've been wanting to do more, you want to focus on moving forward. This is a big yes. Do what your soul do what your soul craves. Take a deep breath. Get grounded. Work on that, and don't hold back. Just let it go. Be yourself. And that's for you, my dear, and happy birthday. I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow. I'm sure you will have a beautiful day tomorrow. Get over to Miss Caleigh.
All right. So I pulled from 3 different decks. So I pulled from the Dragon deck, of course. So,
Woo! I love this. I might have to get that.
So deck. This is my newest deck that I got. I just thought it kind of made sense because it's Year of the Dragon. I was born Year of the Dragon, and so to have a Dragon deck or buy a Dragon deck just made sense. So the way the deck works is you have a Ascended Master that's been paired with a Dragon. And so when I pulled the cards, they came out, and then I actually think I kind of paired them off. So you'll see in a second what I mean by that. So first dragon that came out was, I'm not going to try and pronounce the dragon's name, but Hecate or Hecate, depending on how you want to pronounce that. But it says only your rebellious mind is sufficiently agile and flexible to grasp magic in its entirety. Have the courage to rebel every once in a while. So, i.e., have fun with it. So maybe just don't take it so seriously all the time. Have some fun with it. And with that, I pulled from this deck, which is another newer requirement. So I got it for Valentine's Day. And I got Nurture Connection. So I felt like these, especially with the colors, kind of paired with each other. So especially where it's your birthday, maybe go out and go out with some friends, have a little bit of fun, relax, enjoy. And then the second dragon card that came out was Lao Tzu and Sunshine. So it's a very happy, bright card.
Oh, beautiful.
And it says, be careful with your words. With some, you can harm yourself, so speak with love and positivity. Allow your words and smile to be your adornments, which I think actually describes Fatima to a key because she's always bringing in blessings for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that came hand in hand with the last card I got, which was be like your spirit guide.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that a gorgeous card?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, relax, have fun with it. But also, you're on the right track, I feel.
You're freezing up a little bit. You still there?
And happy birthday.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure you're with us. You freeze up a couple.
It's probably
times,
my
so
internet. Sorry.
Hey, I've been there with internet. Just making sure. And Fatima says that is wonderful, Caleigh. Thank you. Blessings. She says she wants to help heal the world.
You're welcome.
And yeah, the more we pray, no matter how it is that we pray or who we pray to, we keep putting that love and attention out there. It won't be able to probably heal the whole world, but it'll do enough where it can help, hopefully, ease some of the suffering. And Sharon has joined us. Thank you, Sharon, for being here and putting the links in there. I appreciate you. And hello, Jenny.
Michelle said she liked the card deck. Michelle, that's the deck that I used.
The Bird Vibes. Okay.
Yes, so that's the deck I was using, Michelle. Hi, Jen. Joyful Journey and I actually met in person last month. It was really funny because she was like, FogoPogo, and she's like, Joyful Journey. And it's like, oh my God. It's funny.
So, Harley, I think Harley's still here. So
Harley.
Really quick, ABG, if you are still here, you will be next, my dear. And thank you for being patient and waiting. We just ask that, people be present for their readings. I know there's lots of shows and we like to jump back and forth and support one another, but it's so much easier to be able to read for somebody when they are present. So Harley, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so ABG is here. All right, so ABG, you will be next. So right now, Harley, I love the name Harley. My dad loved Harleys. Let me take. Kaylee's like, I'm still on the big screen, Heather. Thank you, Michelle. Let me get a clarifier. I'm going to mute myself. All righty, Harley, I'm just going to go on a little bit of a limb here. So let me know, please, if any of this makes sense. So for the first card I have for you, I have peace. And I love this. It's about, finding peace of mind, finding the stillness, especially with everything going on in the world. There's that beautiful spiritual light around us, keeping, our energy safe, but still allowing for the good energy from others to come through. But just making sure that you're making time for yourself and that you are grounded and you are at peace, or you're. So from there, I'm going to jump on to the next part. This could be wanting peace, wanting to find peace. I did get the lunar god. There's only one masculine card in that one deck. And I got the masculine, and it's the lunar god. And I know we're coming up to a new moon, but I was like, I wanted to ask for a clarifier. And I got the animals card again. But I also got companionship. So, Harley, I don't know if you are transitioning from a relationship where you need to establish peace of mind or that you're finally at peace, or you're now at peace, you're grounded, and you're ready for companionship. Possibly, and this masculine can be whether, I don't know what your preferences are, but it could be just the cards coming together to talk about companionship, friendship, a love interest. Because I also did get, the last card was faith. I got the worm moon. And so the card's telling you to have faith. It feels like, you're at peace, you're ready to move forward. Feels like you're looking for some sort of companionship. Um, and who knows, maybe this individual will be somebody who loves animals as much as you do. Um, but to have faith that if this is the case, that, that love, that friendship, that companionship is out there. As long as we remember to be at peace within ourselves and we love ourselves and have that self-love, because if we can't have that for ourselves, we can't expect other people to bring the right people into our circle, and to expect them to love us if we can't do that for ourselves. So I'm interested to see what Caleigh gets, and I'm going to hand her over to you. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. It's so good to see everyone. And thank you, Viviani. Viviani has subscribed to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. The reason I was laughing is because literally every single card you pulled is like complete. Like all the cards I got were completely like 100% related.
Harley, yay! I hope you had fun. Hope you had a good time. Alrighty.
So what's hilarious is like you pulled the animal card, right? And my eye was like, okay, I literally pulled from almost every like I have 2 animal decks, so I pulled actually from 2 of the animal decks. So the first card I got was from the Bestiary Oracle, and so the first card is the Cow and Bull, which says appreciate the process. And I think all the cards I got actually kind of tie into that appreciating of the process. So I pulled from the bird cards, and I actually got 2. So the chickadee and the great horned owl. So the chickadee says, chickadees flit from place to place, swooping in groups and with other birds. Alight now to celebrate all aspects of life. Come close, share your joys and your sorrows. So again, it's that appreciating the process. And then the great horned owl says, the great horned owl sees clearly from its perch high in the pine trees. It is powerful and swift, quiet in flight. When you are called to make a decision, listen, watch, and weigh all aspects. Which then ties into the last 2 cards I pulled, which were from the Crystal Oracle. So the first one I got was Knowing, which is Celestite. And then the other one I got was Green Calcite, which is Letting Go. So where Heather was mentioning about like being in a relationship or just getting out of a relationship, that may be that kind of letting go piece, and then that knowing. So listening to that again, your inner self. That seems to be coming up a lot lately, even for me personally. And then appreciating that process. So just going with it, see what comes, and just trusting. Yeah.
Nice. And for my bird people, I see people talking about feathers. For my bird people, how about this feather? Mama Caw.
Ooh, I love that.
This was gifted to me by a Canadian health practitioner back when I was in my later 20s. My mom had me drive her over to Canada for a laser to try to quit smoking, and this woman had the whole spiritual vibe going on. She had a wolf pelt and everything there. And I saw this feather and I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and she gifted it to me. So I've had this since I think about Ron was 27, about 27, 28. So yep, that's one of my treasure pieces, and I need to make sure I keep that away from the cats. Oh, and
Yeah.
I've had multiple ones.
Yeah, I
since.
have a collection of feathers. I've been gifted a couple when I worked in clinic. I did work with a couple of parrots, and so I've gotten feathers from them over the years. And then I was also out in Saskatoon for a wedding. We were out walking on a Aboriginal, like it was at an Aboriginal cultural center, and they had a bunch of like paths you could just go and walk. And I found 3 feathers, so I ended up making a dream catcher with them.
Nice. And Harley said, Caleigh, I have to let go of certain thoughts and trusting and appreciating. So there was your validation from her, making sure I didn't miss any. I no longer have one of my mods here to point out the. So, yes, thank you, Sharon, for putting in people's links tonight. I appreciate that. And I saw some beautiful feathers, said Beth, on the ground the other day. Very unusual. But for some reason, I felt uncomfortable picking them up. That's because that you weren't meant to. Those were supposed to stay there for somebody else.
Yeah.
So Spirit lets you know. They really do. So ABG, I know you said you're here, so you are up next.
Yep.
What? No, I'm being drawn to a different deck. What do I have here? Lenormand? Okay. Wow. Lenormand it is. I thank you again, everybody, for joining us this evening and hanging out. It's a busy Friday night. We appreciate your support. And again, Caleigh has her channel in the description. I know Sharon has been posting it. There's no content yet, but let's still keep subscribing because she's planning on releasing some videos soon. So welcome Caleigh now into our community, into our reader family. And it was so cool. I don't know if you saw earlier on, but Beth didn't realize. And all of a sudden I see this comment, I put it up there. I don't know if you saw it, but she goes, Caleigh, you're the FogoPogo. And I'm like, yeah. So now people officially know who you are, Caleigh. Very cool. So ABG.
I can't be all stealthy and secret anymore.
Yeah. ABG, you are here, correct? Are you ready, Caleigh?
I was say, did you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna put you.
Are you wanting to wait to see if they're here?
I'm still looking to. They said earlier. Yep, they're here. So.
Okay.
Something you're wishing, something you're searching for since child.
Okay, perfect. The chat it lags a bit for me. I think it's my internet, but so I pulled cards from the Healing Spirits Oracle, and then I pulled from my Dragon deck, and I just love how they all go together. You'll see here in a second. So the first cards that popped out. So I think you're either going to be starting to do some healing work, or you're in the process of doing some healing work. Because the first card I got, it says heal a past and fix tomorrow.
That's beautiful.
And then the second card that came out along with it is spirit healers and helpers are with you. So if you are on that healing journey or about to start that healing journey, know that you have support. That, you know, even if you feel alone, you're not truly alone. That they are there with you. And I just got chills, so that's confirmation for me. And then I pulled from the Dragon deck, and the dragon I got was Hermed and Matilda, which is a beautiful card. And it says, you are now in need of rest and recuperation. It is only when cradled in the silence of a powerful being that you can achieve self-awareness and allow your soul path with divine and follow your soul path with divine clarity. So if you look at all these cards together, look at all that green. That green is Raphael's color. So Raphael, like the archangel, is a healer. He's the archangel of healing. So if you are either on that healing path or starting that healing path, know that you are supported.
Mm-hmm.
And that, just ask for that help, and it'll be there. Either in the 3D or spiritually.
Okay. Are you all done?
Yeah, I hope that helps.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, ABG, I'm going to go along with her on Caleigh on this with about healing. So I'm getting a wishing well. I got wishing well. And if you're thinking wishing well, I'm wishing I was well. So we're working on some sort of wellness. I got the magnifying glass. So we're examining, we're looking at something here in childhood. This is like a child card. It could represent childlike wonder, or listening to our inner child as well, or an actual child. But I'm feeling like this is something from your childhood. And I asked for a clarifier for this, and I did get the cross, which is about, it's a card about suffering, hardships, heartache. I won't lie about that. I'm very straightforward with my readings. So we're looking at something traumatic in your childhood from the past that you are examining. This could be working through shadow work, working on past trauma. And believe me, we've all been there. So we send you a lot of love and support through this. I also got the fish card, and most of the time it has to do with like finances, abundance. But I mean, this could have to do maybe with finances improving, or are the finances you're spending finances to help maybe look for classes on healing, maybe searching for, asking spirit, who can I go to come help me heal through this, or how to process through things. And I did have the book here, and the book, sometimes I have to look at the books because sometimes they put certain sentences or certain words that will click, and I lost the page. So let me just give me a second here, bear with me. So okay, here we go. Where this card appears, it teaches us to make the most of the resources that we possess. So the resources being, whether you have, I don't know what your spirituality is, but for some people it could be church, it could be a counselor, it could be maybe a spiritual group, could be friends, it could be whatever is part of your healing process, part um, of your support group. I did get the also, because I asked for a clarifier on the fish, and I did get the compass. So for me, it feels like you're looking, as asking to be guided, or you are being guided to someone that can help you work and process through this. And the last card that I have is the house card, and the house is about. This could very well be things that have happened in your childhood home that you were growing up, or this could be the house too. Could be it representing a building that might house an individual or a place that you want to go for healing. But it feels like this is. I'm just going to leave it there. It just feels like there's some trauma that you're working through, and I'm waiting to see if there's something else. I just feel like there's still something else. Let me just pull a couple more cards, ABG. Kind of like the automatic.
Just while you're doing that, Heather, the fish and the water, there is a healing modality called aqualead. So when seeing the water,
Maybe.
that kind of popped up in my head. So that might be something just to look into. See if it calls and speaks to you.
Okay, so ABG, I don't know if you're male or female, but I did get the female card. And yes, YouTube, there's a little bit of, hopefully I'll just cover her up. But I did get the female card. This could be an actual female in your life this could be you, or this could be maybe somebody that you are leaning towards, but I feel like this has to do, again, something with the past, with the female. I did get the snake card, and snakes are about, of course, you know, people who are not good. Watching out getting bit. Um, Person that does not mean you well, things that did not go well. And I did get the tree, which also is a card that represents health. And this isn't and YouTube, again, entertainment purposes only. We don't do health readings, but the tree represents health. So this may be, like, again, things that you're working through from childhood, or maybe even up into recent times. Can you spell that name, Caleigh? Oh, for the Aqua League. Can you type that in, Caleigh?
Was it the
She
dragon?
no,
Oh, the apple?
I don't know. ABG.
I
I
don't know
I
if
think
it'll
it's
let me join chat or not.
okay. I'll type it in, but the tree represents for me, and in the cards, health. It also represents, the Kabbalah, being rooted, growing, advancing, working spiritually, and it could also mean for me family tree, and it just feels like there's some family things that aqua something. Yes, it's called Aqua League. Let me go ahead and put that in there. So I hope that resonated, ABG. If you can do any sort of verification or validation with what you can share for Caleigh and I to know if we touched on. Um, okay, hold on a second. It's called Aqua Lead. Is it one word, Caleigh, or two words?
Yeah, Rossi posted it there.
Oh, did she? Oh,
Rossi posted
okay.
it just above.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Rosanna. So that's it right there, ABG. So if there's anything that you feel safe in sharing, just so that yes,
I'm
it
not
was
a
okay.
doctor, not diagnosing
Yes, but this is
or
just like an
anything, but just
additional
explore it as a
holistic.
possibility.
Yeah, it's a holistic, but make sure that through this healing process, that you touch base with your regular primary doctor, counselor, whatever it is that you need to. Um, but yeah, we send you much love. And thank you again for being here. It's nice to read for somebody new. And this is a safe space. And my chatters are the best. And whatever, we share in readings, we support one another. We're very respectful of each other, just trying to figure things out. Okay. So that's all you need to say. So everybody can just send a lot of healing light and positive energy to ABG. That would be great. So awesome. Okay, Caleigh, we're at 9:12. Are you still good? Okay. We have one left. Earl, I know we're getting to you a little bit later. Earl, are you still here? Um, also, okay. Harley sharing her insights into the card, into the reads. Okay. So Earl, yes, Earl's still here. Alrighty. So Earl wanted an energy reading for this relationship, or just or in general. I'm going to use my tarot for that. Which one do I want to use? Use my little purple one. I love this. Is one of my favorite decks. They're small, they're minis, but they're great to carry around if you're on the go. Purple, gold, and white. It's called Everyday Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. So I will mute myself now.
I got something. Do you want me to go first, Heather? So I stuck with the more oracle type cards than the tarot. So I pulled from the liquid crystal oracle first. So the first card I actually got was self-love. So Rhoda creosote is the crystal. And then the second one I got was kunzite, which is heart activation. So as far as a love reading, or as far as kind of, you know, feeling into the relationship from your side of things, for me it feels positive, and I say that only because of the other cards I got. So I pulled from my bird deck, and I actually ended up getting 3 cards. But it definitely kind of comes back to that self-love. So love yourself first, so that you can put your whole self into that relationship. So the first card I got, is the common loon. So it says meditate. The loon calls hauntingly to its lifelong mate. It can dive to 600 feet, deepen your relationships. Make progress towards your goals by seeking quiet, meditating, and studying your dreams. So I kind of took that as backing up the self-love first. So focus on yourself. Make sure that you're in that state that you can be 100% present in that relationship. And then I got Take Off. So it's the Eastern Meadowlark. So the Meadowlark's melodic song and the attractive bright yellow underpants, black v-neck, and white tail feathers uplift the heart. Your dreams are possible and action follows intention. So again, that intention, that, you know, that self-love that you can then bring into the relationship is very important. And then the last one I got was the Canadian goose. So it says, stay in touch. Each goose flying in V formation has a clear line of sight and maintains contact with the others. Watch out for your tribe and look for ways to help. Listen and tell the stories that give direction. So again, you know, I kind of took that as to be like kind of the backup that, yeah, this relationship, you know, from what I can tell of the cards, looks like it's good. But, you know, connection, communication is going to be important, and that focus on self-love first. But yeah, hope that helps.
Thank you, Caleigh. And as always, I agree. We have to start with self-love, because if we can't love ourselves unconditionally, how can we expect, you know, sometimes those some days we struggle with that, and I get it. We're human. So it's one of those wonderful, you know, traits of being having a spiritual being, having a human experience. So Earl. So I just want general energy. So the first card I got is the Two of Swords. So this is someone trying to balance. You know, you got your blindfolds on, and you're trying to balance. There's a choice that needs to be made, and you're kind of blindfolded that you weren't sure what choice to make. I asked for a clarifier, and I got the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups has to do with choices, delusions. I should say delusions, illusions, kind of the same thing, daydreaming. And then I had to verify that I got the Sun card, and so recently, I should say recently, somewhere in the recent past, I'm looking at that you had a decision to make. You weren't sure which way to go. There were so many options. There were so many illusions going on, but something occurred where the Sun card came out, and it just illuminated everything. You saw it, and you were starting to move forward. Now, the card after the Two of Swords is the Moon card, and the Moon is about things that were in the shadows being revealed. Again, connecting with the intuition, looking to see, you know, what's hidden. There was something hidden from you. Again, like the Two of Swords, you're blindfolded. There was something that you did not see, which was verified by the Moon. And I'll just keep going down the line, and then I'll do the verifiers. I got the Five of Cups. It cost you sadness, grief, you know, despair. It wasn't good. So this relationship, whatever it was, just really hurt. You've been grieving for it. I have the Hermit came next. And the Hermit is about going within, finding solitude, being careful not to isolate yourself. Um, because I think maybe a fear moving forward could be that a possible new individual coming into your life, whether it's this individual or something else. But I'm just focusing on your energy. I did get the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups can be a woman, or this could be an individual. But with your question, I'm going to stay with a woman. Um, Very emotional, very empathic, but can be very moody, kind of emotionally manipulative a little bit, um, artistic, um, extremely intuitive, but there's that emotion involved, and I want a clarifier for that. And the reason why I said kind of maybe an emotional manipulator a little bit, I did get the Magician card, and the Magician is about having everything that you need and being able to create whatever it is. And I'm feeling like because of the Seven of Cups, there was some sort of illusion of who this person in the past was, or this could very well be maybe somebody coming into the future. Only you will know that. I did ask for a clarifier on the moon, and I got the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is about something brand new, action, something new coming um, into your life. It's a spark. It's an energy. But when I asked for a clarifier for that, because with the moon, I'm like, well, there's shadows and things, but yet, ooh, there's this spark of something possibly new coming in. I did get the Temperance card. So Temperance is about moderation, balancing, making sure you're balancing your emotions. You are grounded, 1 foot in the water, which is our emotions, and 1 foot on the ground, which is being grounded. Making sure that we're balanced here, because we can see, what you have been through in the past. So again, this is what I'm going to go by, and so I hope that what I was able to get from these helps, resonates, and she has given you inspiration. Okay, but remember, and again, I'm not tapping into somebody else's energy without their permission. That's not how I read. But when it comes to the Temperance card that came out after the Ace of Wands, so just making sure you stay grounded, things are balanced, and this could very well be reflecting that this new individual may be what helps bring in that balance, or you feel like you're finding balance in this area of your life. So I will leave that with you, Earl. Thank you for letting us read. And I just saw, hi, Brenda. There she is. Hello. And yes, happy International Women's Day.
And Tennis popped in too.
Tannis is here. Dennis, hi. I was telling Caleigh backstage today that I miss seeing you. I have a show now on Mondays at 5, so I can't pop in to say hi to you and Jennifer, but we should do something soon. I miss you. I know you're busy though. Caleigh says you've been very, very busy with teachings and workshops and all that good stuff. So thank you for coming in. This young lady here was so nervous, um, you know, all week. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't know. I'm just like, you're going to be fine. And she's been reading like a gem, a charm. I mean, she's very good. She's a natural. So she's doing wonderful. I feel like a new path has opened up. Okay. Sounds good. And we wish you much love and luck on that, Earl. Um, Moira, that is a cute deck. Biddy Tarot's podcast. Yep, her name is Biddy. Has an interesting interview with the artist about the creation. I just wish the cards were a little bit bigger. And there is a book I saw at Barnes and Noble to go with it at some point I want to get, but I just bring that out for sometimes simple little, without too much symbolism, with too much imagery to kind of throw me off. It's nice. It's just a simple, clean, clear design that just basically speaks of the energy. Yes,
Tennis
she
is making
is.
me blush.
Ah, well, you should be proud of yourself. You did a very good job tonight. People have been subscribing. Now, for people who have come in, Caleigh, we all know her in chat as FogoPogo. She is starting her own woo woo channel. the link. Sharon Psy'd has been putting it in the chat tonight, and it's also in the description. Let's start building up her subscription. And she'll be starting to put out her own content very soon. Hopefully more with poetry as well, because she's an amazing poet. She's done wonderful. And well, we thank you for all you do, because I really wouldn't have known Caleigh or known Michelle if it wasn't for you, Tanis, with your Twillo lifestyle. That's where I've been meeting everybody. I met Jennifer, I met you, I met Michelle. I mean, I already kind of knew Michelle, but you really brought me into Michelle's, circle. You brought me into Caleigh. So I've met a lot of wonderful people through you. So wonderful, wonderful. And who's having the birthday again on Monday? Is that Moira? So wish everybody
Moira, yeah.
Maya,
and then Fatima said it tomorrow.
And
right?
Fatima's birthday is tomorrow. So that is absolutely wonderful. So that was our last question. Did fabulous. Let me just remove the comments so that doesn't throw me off. And it's all about community. Yes, it is. I agree. And so
you got it.
So you said, now, do you plan on putting any kind of content up this weekend? Well, where we ending, I usually like to ask everybody what they got.
Not this weekend. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be hanging out with Tanis tomorrow. I have my Aqua Lead Masters that I'm doing. That'll take most of the day. So not likely this weekend, but I feel like probably come end of April, beginning of May is probably when I'll start maybe seriously considering doing some stuff. Like my birthday's at the end of April, so I might maybe hop on and try and do a live or something for that.
That would be cool. Very nice. She's learning this weekend. Yes, she is. Let's see so Saturday, tomorrow night, Tom, Early Ritual, and Jeff, Tarot S Backwards, is going to be joining me for another Saturday night chat, and our topic's going to be about soul contracts. So it's going to be an open conversation. We're all just going to share different points of view, how we feel, how we resonate with that topic. Again, chat is a safe space for people to share their viewpoints. Are we going to have differing ones? Of course, and that is okay. We all understand and resonate and have different experiences when it comes to certain topics. So this is going to be just a safe space for all of us to share, our thoughts and our insights and our experiences. So hopefully we'll see lots of you there then. Fun topic, yeah. We've already done a conversation about free will, and it was
I'll be tuning
amazing.
in for sure.
It was amazing how people were just feeling, safe enough just to open up and just talk. That's what I love. I love facilitating, a healthy conversation. And then Sunday, Karen, Care Bear, will be joining Jeff and I for poetry and tarot reading. So that's exciting. And of course, Monday, back again with Miss Nancy. And we're going to be ending, and they might still be on. If you go over to Ginger Faye's channel, Miss Nancy is doing readings with her and Ramon, who we know as Moon Scarab. He's an amazing reader, poet, and artist as well. So everybody, yes, hit that notify button. So everybody, thank you for coming out and supporting myself and Caleigh. Caleigh, thank you for popping on. And look forward to having you back on.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for all the support, everybody.
Yes, and you'll have to come back on when Allison
for sure
and I for a future one. So everybody, have a great rest of your evening. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on our next show or chat. Bye.